This is Ouch My Wallet, hosted by Robert Simmons, a production of the TFYLP Network. It's about done. Hello everyone, welcome to Ouch My Wallet for June 10th, part of the TFYLP Network, where some of the cast gets together and we just talk about whatever our recent goodies are. As normal, I'm your host Rob. With me today is Mr. Jack.
Sup? It's cracking.
Miss Anna.
Good evening.
And Mr. Paul.
Boo.
It's not October yet, man.
It's coming.
Slow down on the scares.
It's always coming.
You know what I want to know is coming or not is the hottest convention of our fandom, which is PFCon.
As he's trying to eat.
Yeah.
You should ask the person who organizes it. I don't know.
If we ever get through this mess. But yeah.
I mean,
All
I think TFCon is probably the more pertinent question.
They moved it to when? Chicago in
October.
July? October? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Will it happen?
Was it supposed to be in July and they moved it to October? Does anyone remember exactly?
I believe so.
In my brain, it was always October at this point, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did. Because they did.
No, it was like back in May is when it was originally. Or was it April even?
I had so many events I was going to go to this year. This is like my event year, and they all got wiped. So I have missed. I can't keep track anymore.
Yeah, because I know their July show is usually like the Toronto is what they do in Toronto, and then October has been like every other year has been Chicago, and then every other year has been anywhere else in the country. So I think they've been trying to do like more shows. So it might have been.
They went to that 2 U.S. shows.
Yeah.
So we'll see if October happens. I know that Pete's RoboCon is supposed to happen in Kentucky, and I think at the end of this month. And they said they're working. I mean, it's a small show, and they're hoping things will be opened up enough by then that if people keep distance and all that, it'll be okay. But I personally, I'm not going to that, even though I could. Not worth it.
Yeah, nothing against the show, anything about
it.
I'm not going. I mean, I probably wasn't going anyways, but now that everything's been canceled, it's like, oh, maybe. Yeah. But it's just, it doesn't seem like something I want to travel 4 hours to.
It could be in my backyard, and I wouldn't go at this point.
I agree. I'm the same way.
And you're asking about PFCon? Like what?
I was just burnt ribbing you. So
well, as far as I know, that show is not much to talk about.
I don't know. I heard it's the bee's knees. All right. So speaking of the bee's knees,
all these in jokes.
Who's got some toy bee's knees that they want to start from? I only have one item tonight, so I'm gonna go last.
Boo! Boo, Rob! Boo!
I'm literally transforming my best item right now, so you got to give me some time here.
I pretty much only have one item too, and it's kind of anticlimactic. But I did find some other stuff to keep the. I figured at least I'm on here to keep the conversation going. Like I don't. If there's a chance to put other stuff in, I'll do it. But I'll start with my one thing and plan to.
You're here for personality.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was here.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
I mean, that's the only reason I'm here because I only got one item.
Wow.
This is the Jack.
This is
the Jack show.
This is the Jack show. We all need to talk for 40 minutes.
Jack, you just got to take care of this, dude.
Show us how it's done, Jack.
Yeah.
Kick us off. You've been voluntold.
Fine. So I wasn't going to get this, but then I saw the upgrade for it, and I'm like, fine, I'll get it. I got Earthrise Prime. I said,
Yeah.
So I wasn't really too huge on this, mainly because of this. It's just bare and, flat nothing. But as soon as I saw the photos for the non-F upgrade, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this now. And so I'm just waiting on them to start shipping which I think they said they were gonna do it like the 5th, but I think he said he had some kind of something going wrong with the system, and he just said, "Screw it, I'm gonna."
Well, tell us about the upgrade.
Yeah, what is that
for Luddites like myself?
Fine. It is pretty much upgrades. Let me see. Where's my phone? Because it's like they give you whole new pieces to fill out the sides. They give like a whole new bumper, the whole new door. They give you roller. I don't really think they have much for Prime himself. It is all pretty much the trailer. Yeah. So it's roller, like the little gas hose. They give a few missiles for the drone. Looks like a new hitch piece, the side supports, some lights, and then yeah, the new door, which that was another thing I didn't really like, was that part of the door was the shield. I just never really cared for that. So yeah, they got the new door.
It's a thing it can do technically.
Yeah,
dude, you had me at gas hose. I am in.
They got the gas hose. They got roller. And then they do have like color options to where it's like, let me see.
I need a sleep mode roller. That's what's important.
Yeah,
there was one. There, like back in the 2010 days, there was like a clear one.
Yeah. So you do have some color options for this, which I thought was kind of nice. So you could do the exterior as either blue, gray, or black. Interior as blue or gray, so it's like you get the little command modules that like on MP10 at the front.
Yeah.
So you get those.
The repair base stations.
Yep. And then roller can either be blue or gray, depending on what you want. So I think I did exterior as I think black, interior is blue, and then roller blue because I went with an MP10 kind of feel. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm just waiting on that. And
for anyone who's not familiar with Nanif, he does, I believe it's all 3D printed kits, home kits.
He does some plastic injection molding. I don't know how he does it.
That's what this one is, because I remember seeing one of his photos, and it showed like a few of the spruces, and it was pretty much like all plastic injection. So I'm like, that's
awesome.
Yeah, I've seen the kits. They're quality plastic. They're not the weird, like, I've got a chunk of 3D printer plastic on my toy now type stuff.
I bought his Masterpiece Ratchet and Ironhide side panel kits back in the day before some company put out a better version that was, plastic injection was like honestly a little less fiddly. But, he was good service. He's not a ripoff. You will get what you pay for. So, if you're, I think, actually, he did guns for PFCon. That's right.
Cool. I'll have to check that out. I do support Nanif. I think he's like one of the really good. Like I love the add-on third-party stuff. Like that's kind of where it started, and not a lot of companies do it because it's more of a labor of love than like a money-making venture. So
yeah, you're not going to get a millionaire making add-on kits.
I mean. Anyone can be a millionaire if they do it right, but it's more of a labor of love, and they do a great job usually. So I love Nana.
Yeah, it's from what my count, you get about 18 pieces I think total for the trailer, and yeah, it's $25. And I said, why not?
It's cheap.
Yeah,
it's cheap.
So is it like are they all custom made? Like, do you get a list of things and like you're ordering from I just ordered some sushi, but like you can like add certain kind of rice to this item, or like
I think it's all the parts.
You get the whole set. You just pick the colors.
Yeah, So,
but it sounds like you can kind of mix and match, though, right?
Yeah, because like I said, I did I did black for the exterior, blue for the interior, then roller was blue. So I mean, you can have gray for the interior. You can have whatever, obviously, color combination you want. It doesn't have to. Match. Like I said, I'm just going with an MP10 feel. So.
I guess I'm just interested from like a e-commerce checkout standpoint. Like, how is that? How do you decide that? Is it like a bunch of checklist, like a field, and
it's probably like sizes, like you would on a shirt. That's my guess.
Just sounds like there's a lot of options, and that's cool. Yeah. That's great. I'm a nerd.
Yeah. All right.
Are you also going to get the stickers?
Oh.
That I might look into too. I haven't been huge on like the toy hacks, but there is a few that I might have to get. So might have to add that.
Before we move on, what did you actually think of Prime? What was your opinion on it?
Oh,
the actual toy you bought.
Talk about the toy.
That's
we've talked about the toy on a lot of shows at this point.
As much as I found the trailer disappointing, Prime himself is actually pretty fun. Obviously, I do get a lot of... Because, I mean, I was set with just Siege Prime, but as soon as I got this, I'm like, wow. Wow. So, yeah, I actually like this a lot better than the regular Siege Prime. So, I'm like, absolute win.
Everybody's felt that way.
And
except
you get
Anna.
articulation. Yay!
And blue fists.
Blue fists. Metallic blue. Really nice blue.
Yeah, after all that upheaval, the fists are blue.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a concept in design called the hairy arm. And I feel like them releasing prototype figures of him with gray fists was a hairy arm. So, if... It builds on another concept that you might have heard of called bike standing. Or bike shed. Bike shed. There's this... They got a committee together to design a nuclear plant. And because... Who knows how to design a nuclear plant besides nuclear physicists and engineers, right? So the committee argued incessantly over the bike shed. Because it's not important. It's dumb crap. So imagine if you're a designer, like a graphics designer or a website designer, whoever you're making this for is going to want to feel that they have input. And that's just human nature. We want to feel like we have ownership in it. So a way to give people that feeling, but staying true to your design without their dumb, stupid ideas, is to sabotage it. So one time, this guy did something, he took a picture or whatever, and made sure his arm was in it, and it was all hairy for his client, and so called the hairy arm technique. So like it looks great, but why is that hairy arm in it? Which was never, it was just to distract them when it obviously wasn't even part of it. And they say, yeah, remove the hairy arm. It looks so much. I'm like, okay. So what do they do? I mean, I'm not saying they did this, but put it out there with some gray fists. Everyone focuses on that, like, oh my god, when the whole time it's not gonna have gray fists, just to distract them from any other issues.
Requires a level of sophistication that I am not sure they have the time to spend. But there is a back to the hairy arm thing. Quick, it can backfire.
Yeah,
but let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Be careful beware the hairy arm.
Yeah, they may just think you're just grossly incompetent.
Or they might love hairy arms.
Or they might love, like, oh man, I need 5 more of those hairy arms.
Yeah.
Where's my problem? You're gonna get gray hands, I assume, with sleep mode. His hands are gray, maybe.
The rest of it's gray.
I think they're black, but I haven't looked.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get both and then swap them.
Oh Lord.
Great. Here we go.
Yeah, right. That's a lie. You're not doing that. There's no way.
I might get Sleep Mode Prime just because that's interesting to me, as opposed
to unique. I can't get past the proportions on that figure. There's a whole show about me whining about how he's misproportioned, but it's called Microcasters. I always complain about how things have legs that are too long and torsos that are too short. That's all I ever talk about.
It's heroic proportions.
Shameless.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I see it sometimes too, but I'm also getting more used to it and growing to where I kind of like it.
Oh, wow.
A little bit, because, I mean, if you look at the art, a lot of his, their Bible art for G1, Prime was that way. Like, his MB44 is kind of the same thing, where it's got kind of longer legs and more of a squat torso. Like, not crazy so, but...
It's just like there's this point for me. Like, there's this line you can't cross. Like, you can do that to an extent, but once you cross that line, it looks ugly. And
awesome crap.
Yeah, exactly. It gets better and better and better until it's garbage. So you have to throw it away and try and start over. I like the Siege Prime better, though. I really did. I'm surprised to hear you say that he's not as good, because Siege Prime is way better.
I think a lot of people, my impression I got was they kind of felt hoodwinked. Like, buy this thing that's almost G1 Prime, and then we're going to release a G1 base Prime.
Absolutely.
But,
yeah.
Conversations have been had multiple times.
That'd be fantastic.
Because I certainly did. I got hoodwinked.
Are you gonna pause him on eBay now? Put him in the
I
trade
don't know.
bin.
I have a nice little Siege collection, and he actually kind of brings it all together, so I might just keep him.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until today that there's apparently a KO that's Siege Prime that's like, it's like
he's
that
like
big.
Your class, and he doesn't have all the scuff marks. He's just clean. So
yeah, he's got like some
believe he
diecast
is.
parts. He's like,
well, if it was made by Wei Zhang, you better get it now.
right? That's what I'm thinking. Like this is the time.
Yeah, I believe he is about the same size as the Power of the Primes leader. I think. Maybe
I think so. I think that's how big he is. He's massive.
He a big boy.
It's really interesting to me. It's a good mold. I don't know if I'd really want it that big.
Yeah, I don't want space for that. All right, so Anna or Paul, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Or Paul will.
We'll both go.
At the same time, just start talking. Let's go.
Everybody watching this is like, who am I supposed to follow?
It's not tftalk.net if we're not talking over each other the whole time. So both go at the exact same time.
Perfect.
Barrel through.
You can go, Anna. Go ahead.
All right. You said you only have one item, right?
Pretty much so.
I have a few, so I can go. So I asked him earlier if he did this on. I asked Lucas earlier if he talked about his on the show, and he didn't remember. So I'm just gonna quickly talk about my toy robot poster I got. Did Lucas do this? Yeah. So I'll talk really briefly.
It's really hard to see because
it's really hard to see. There we go.
There you go.
You can see it.
Boom.
It's Voltron and Unicron being friends.
I like the burst.
Cool. Good, because that's all you can see.
Yeah, so they've done this really interesting thing where they've decided that their like trademark is metallic printing. So they've got these metallic posters. They just released their first issue of they just sold their first issue of the book. The printing has been delayed, so I don't have that to show off yet. But and that also has a metallic cover option. So they've just really got into this whole metallic thing. And, I thought it was a cool thing, and I like to support fun endeavors like that because I was a really, really, really big Toy Fair fan back in the day. I went out and tracked down all the issues and had them all displayed, and I was just really into their sense of humor. Their sense of humor was fantastic. So the idea of having a toy magazine back, even if it is, this kind of small publication with just a couple people, I think it's fun. So I wanted to support them with that poster, and I like the art. So
well, congratulations to them for getting their first issue printed. I know
absolutely.
The Kickstarter didn't do as well as they wanted, so I didn't know if they was going to go forward or not. So that's cool.
Yeah, I hope that hope it comes out soon.
That'd be interesting. So you got it. Lucas got it as well.
He got the poster. He did not buy the magazine. I bought the magazine, maybe in some bad decision making, but I did go ahead and get that. But yeah, the poster was quite a while ago now. The thing is, I don't know how to display posters.
You gotta buy a frame.
Yeah, I just do the frame.
I don't want to buy a frame. Frames are annoying.
Well, good frames worth of crap are expensive.
They are.
The only ones I do, like if you could see these photos behind me, they're just like the little minuscule borders. It's just pop the glass out, you put the picture in, pop the glass back in. I think those frames, were like $5. I don't even think maybe that. I think they were maybe $3 each at Walmart. They're nice. That's all I use is frames like those.
What you have to, the problem with poster size, like especially bigger, is finding one that matches, that doesn't leave a bunch of edge around it, and then you're probably gonna have to turn to like eBay or something. Yeah, and you get frames like that are hundreds of dollars. One of the last year we had Rick on, who spends hundreds, if not maybe it was $1,000 on a frame. Like he had somebody custom make it.
One, yeah.
It's wild.
A good frame is awesome.
Yeah.
But like if you're like, I want to frame my $20 poster, you don't want to spend more than like $5 to do it.
Actually,
right.
And it can be kind of hard to find one that's the right size. I have some that are where it's just like the piece of plastic on front of it that's the plexiglass.
Yeah.
And you slide the sides on, and they do the job, but they're crap.
I have so much trouble with those types of frames. They always fall apart on me.
I actually forgot I had this one, but I had this. I got this. It was 11 by 17. I just got it on eBay. It was only like 15, and yeah, this is like one of those just cheapy, thin.
Those are way better because I have a couple of those for like we have some stuff framed in our stairway, and those are a lot better than the ones where you slide on the side. But again, you're trying to find the right dimensions, and it can be hit or miss. And if you buy on eBay, I think you're protected, but
But yeah, that's what I usually do. These thin ones.
Here's the thing for me, right? I've had that poster for like 2 months now, and I still haven't framed it. It literally took me 3 years to frame my doctorate. Like, and that's something that like most people get excited about framing, and like my husband had to like go and make me do it in order to get it framed, and I still bought like a $10 frame for it. So I'm not good with frames.
I need to buy a frame I have a vintage BotCon poster from like back in one of the Beast Wars eras, like when that was a set, and I want to frame it, but like right now it's rolled up on the shelf safely, so it doesn't get trampled. So it's like out of sight, out of mind. And I forget about it for months at a time. And then I'll be like, oh man, this thing's here. I need to buy a frame for it. And by the time I get to my computer, I've already forgotten again.
I've had that. I've had that too. I have got, like, if you've played any of the GTAs, if you, like, go into them, they come with, like, these posters. But on the back of them are the maps of, like, whatever city or town or state you're in. So I'm trying to do a thing where I'm trying to do, like, poster collection of the maps of each game. So I actually took one, the GTA 5 map from my PS3 version before I sold it off, and I'm like, I gotta get a frame for this. So every time I come around to it, I find it somewhere laying around. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this frame. That's right. Forget about it for like another 6 months. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Zaldron with the zinger in the chat.
Zing!
Wait, people frame their degrees? Like news to me.
I don't even know where my diploma is.
I got my technical diploma right up there.
Yeah, there's like.
I graduated. I forgot. Like they had to send it to me.
Like, I think my high school diploma is in a fancier, it came in a fancier thing. I don't really know where that is. Or my college diploma. Like I have a couple I could probably find it in 2 or 3 guesses.
My technical diploma is actually hung up on the wall, and I just found my high school diploma sitting on a shelf. Just doing nothing, collecting dust.
But that was like a year ago for you.
Well, one thing about posters, like Rob, you mentioned you had one rolled up. Just a recommendation, doesn't mean you have to do this, but like you should roll it with the print on the outside, which most people do the opposite because they're like, I'm protecting the print, but you're not.
I didn't roll it at all. It's how I got it, and I just took it and set it on the shelf, and it's just naturally still kind of curled up.
Well, it's been there for a while, right? So the reason
it's probably been there since it was made. Like that.
Yeah, so you can't really change it, but it's you can still fix this, but like it's better to, if you're going to store posters roll them with the print on the outside, because that is the way when you flatten it out and never frame it, that's the part that clings to the wall. Like think about it. Otherwise, it's like bending away from the wall. Mm-hmm. And if you frame it, you're flattening it out anyways, but still naturally it's better for it to cling to the wall. So that's interesting. That's for everybody out there. That's what we learned in a print shop.
Nice.
That's the thing. Like I'm thinking, like I should just get some tape and I should just tape this thing to the wall because otherwise it's never going on the wall.
Oh my god!
I mean, if you want to go cheap, just get some of the 3M poster thingies at least, so that it has a much less chance of ruining your wall.
Poster thingies, perfect.
Yeah, like the 3M. Poster,
I know what you're talking
about.
Strips.
Yeah. Command strips. Yeah.
That's what my mom uses. She uses it for pretty much anything she hangs on the wall. She doesn't use nails anymore, and you look at my room, everything I hang, especially like these guys, those guys, everything over there is all nails. I feel bad.
You know what I was just thinking about?
Pinhole nails are easy. You just take the world's smallest bit of mud and cover it up if you need to. You don't even notice it unless you look for it.
You know what I was just thinking about, though? If you just had the random happenstance that you had the super mini plot of Voltron, he's like this big, and you're getting the HasLab Unicron, you could recreate this poster with your toys. It could be real classy, right?
You have to get some blast effects from like Shapeways or something for the.
Yeah, you can do it though. Like you can have your own Voltron versus Unicron poster just for like $700 of toys.
Totally worth.
Easy.
To take that one picture to put on Instagram. Go viral.
You'd be a hero. You'd be a hero.
All right, so speaking of hero, why don't you save this episode, Paul?
What did I what?
Save the episode. Be a hero.
Because we were talking about posters at this point.
I don't know. I was just trying to segue.
Look at this big
Boom,
thing.
indeed.
This is NEZA Transformers. There's, you can see, big yellow Transformer box. Legit. This is the Lego. I don't know. I'm just calling it Lego Optimus Prime, but it's like it's
obviously not Lego.
It's not
Lego, but not Lego.
It's Xiaomi, I think, or Xiaomi, or it starts with an
X. None
X.
of us know what the hell that is. Yeah.
It's basically like a cell phone company. That,
I think, yeah.
In Japan, like in China, they like make devices and they make like accessories and all that stuff. So electronics. But look, this is a big box. This thing is 5 pounds.
That's huge.
And it's got.
Well, you ran Anna out of the room.
Yep. Sorry, Anna. She's heard me bitch about this thing already on Discord. Like 1,200 plus pieces.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild. And they're making a Megatron and a Bumblebee too. And I guess I don't know if they're all available now or what. But
and was the NEZA, did that get a cartoon, or is it just a thing that's a crossover?
Apparently it has a cartoon, but I have not seen.
And is that Prime from it? Because that looks kind of like
it's Cyberverse. This is Cyberverse Prime. Okay. And like all the other one's a Cyberverse Bumblebee, the other one's a Cyberverse Megatron.
Yeah, because I know there's like smaller kits of them because MGO just had like a little. I mean, they could be knockoffs. I don't know, but yeah, they were like smaller.
They
kits.
did some figures, and like we saw those. At least, I saw them announced. I don't know if I ever saw them in hand, but like they did some like normal figures. But this like being like some sort of kit that you build,
like a crossover thing. So see this Mi logo. I think that has. I think that's like a subline of Xiaomi. And the problem, I really wanted to have this thing built for tonight, but the story since I don't have it built, the story I'm going to tell is how hard it is to build it, if that's okay.
Please do.
So
I don't know what the hell this thing even is.
There's the inside. See all these bags? They're all numbered. They have these cool like
Autobot in one little special
spot. QR codes that don't really go anywhere. And yeah,
got numbers.
The head,
so easy a baby could do it.
And the box actually like transforms a little.
It articulates.
It's lame. So the head's in a special. The head's in a special spot. Here's the head. It's definitely Cyberverse Optimus. It's
pretty substantial. Look how big that thing is.
It's very big. Wow. It's going to be like 13, 14 inches tall when it's done.
Damn. I have to check.
I mean, will yours ever be that tall, or is it just going to be the height of the box?
Well, the problem is that Mi logo has to do with an app that Xiaomi has made released in China. And to get the instructions, there's a little instruction booklet that it comes with, which is hilarious. It's hilarious because
download the app.
The box is so like extravagant, and then this is like the pamphlet. It's like you're opening an iPhone. And then it has this little pamphlet in here. And here's the contents. Contents are the pamphlet that you are reading, 15 bags, a sticker sheet. There's actually a big like 6-piece sticker sheet, and the head. And here's the instructions.
Oh no.
Those are the instructions.
Download this app that you can't get in the U.S.?
Download this app that is only available in China. And when you try to download it, your app store tells you, you cannot order this in America, infidel. You can't get it. And so there's someone else I know that is in China that's trying to get it. But this is how the actual app works. Remember I said there's 1,200 some parts? There are 1,300 slides, one at a time, for each step. And you click with your thumb on the app to the next step. And that's how you make it.
Can you resume? Can you skip ahead?
Probably. Or you have to remember what number. But the thing is, like, There's no like export these fucking instructions for regular use. Wow. So someone has to literally screen cap every one of these and make a PDF out of it.
And I don't think is this popular enough to get someone to do that.
There's someone working. Well. So I was going to do it today, but I spent the whole damn day trying to get this thing. So you have to use the App Store in China, you have to have an account that is in China, and to have an account like say on Apple.com, that's a China. You can say I'm switch my region to China. Well, they're like, oh, you still can't download stuff from China, you non-Chinese person. So you have to have a phone number, a legitimate phone number that they confirm via, a Chinese, country code phone number. So I tried to get one of those even, and tie it to a new account. I even have like one of my wife's old burner phones trying to do this today. Oh my god. So I found a place where you can like forward a Chinese number to like a Google account. Well, I paid for it. I did the whole thing. And then they sent me this follow-up email that's like, well, we need to see your passport. And we need to see 2 forms of like bills of identification. I'm like, no. Like, okay, this isn't worth it. You're gonna
steal my identity.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not buying this thing. Like F off.
I'm out.
And so now I have bags. And I'm scared to even open the bags because they're all numbered. And like, if the instructions kind of tell you like take this from bag 1, and if I mix them all up, I'm boned. So it's still that's the problem.
I have 2 recommendations. One is either try to find a YouTube video of someone building it, or something like that you can follow along.
Like a 10-hour video, Rob.
I mean, if you've built Lego before, it's definitely going to be hours, but and 2 is probably get some Ziploc bags. And that way you can open them, dump them into the Ziploc bags, and number them. And then if you want to try to play with it,
that's not a bad idea.
You can open it and keep it near the one Ziploc bag, and then if you can't figure it out, put them back. You have to be careful.
That's a good idea. Put them in Ziplocs.
And take pictures. Take pictures like here's bag 1, here's bag 2.
I even reached out to like Xiaomi USA, which has a Twitter account with like 30,000 followers, and I PM'd them like, hey, FYI, I bought your product, I imported it from China, and I'm screwed. This information, like you're my only hope, Obi-Wan Xiaomobi or whatever, and they have just you can see they've seen it all, but they will not respond. So that's my plight. Hopefully by next week I can have built it or something.
I mean,
it looks really cool.
I love technology and I'm a big proponent of technology, but that's not how you do technology. Like and part
it's
of it
pathetic.
is because I'm not getting on the soapbox here. Don't worry, but like I'm pro free internet. Like the internet should be open. It should be free. That type of thing. As long as you're not doing like evil stuff or whatever. But when you got such a lockdown country like China and they lock everything into that, it just screws the whole system. And right here it's screwed because things are a global economy these days. If you're making, that's not like a $5 toy you'd pick up in the store in China.
It's significant.
Yeah.
It was hard to get too. Like I paid a lot of money for this thing. It was not easy to get. Yeah. So, anyways, that's my item. I thought it was a good weird story of the weird.
If you figure it out, come back on the show with it built and talk to us about it.
Yeah,
I'm really curious about it. I want to see like what's the quality like? Is it articulated?
I've seen videos of it built. It looks great, and it does all. It has all the swivels and stuff. It's like I have the Diablock Optimus from like early, mid 2010 or something. But it's like a masterpiece Optimus, but it's very simple. The cool thing about that toy is it actually transforms. This one does not. This is like a super Creo set.
Yeah.
Like you can build, maybe the steps to build the robot are half the 1,300 slides. The other half are to build the truck. But
does it build a truck?
It can't. Yeah, it's like
I thought it was just a robot.
No, it's like pretty much a Creo to where you have to completely tear it down to do the other one.
Okay. Yeah.
Tearing down 1,200 pieces is different than the Creo kits, though.
And it's Technic, so you got to like pull them all apart.
Right?
Oh boy.
You need 2. And since it's so cheap and accessible, you can easily do that.
Yeah. Got to get 2.
Well, you said it was 1,300 pages. Only 650 of those are for each mode. So, quit exaggerating, Paul.
You know me.
I want to commend you for trying all day to get that to work, though. It sounds like you put a lot of effort.
Well, it wasn't like a solid 4 hours of like doing this, but the first thing I did when I woke up and like noticed over time, like when they sent me the email about the Chinese phone number, I was just like, nah, like no more. I hate you. And now I'm worried they're going to charge me. What?
I said, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. Did you only wake up 4 hours ago?
No, I woke up early. I woke up at like 8, which I mean isn't really early.
I woke up earlier for normal time for an adult.
Yeah,
at 8
it's not late for a lot of people.
Yeah, I just don't have kids yet, so
keep it that way. Toys are better.
We'll see.
Paul might have jinxed it.
All right, so going on to mine here.
What you got?
I have the third member of the Fans Toys aerial bots.
Ooh.
And I think Fans Toys is slipping. Like they're getting more expensive and they're making more dumb mistakes. Yeah, and I don't know if a lot of it's been in the Superion set because that's all it's come out recently other than Warpath. And Warpath was pretty good. I had him on the show a couple episodes ago. So, if we start with the positive, I mean, he has the typical kind of Fans Toys polish. Like it feels nice. It's got a good weight. The look is good. The aesthetics are good. All that stuff's fine. Mine is broken. Yeah, some of the fingers are so damn stiff. Like three of them would not move. They would not articulate. But 2 of them I managed to get out, and then once you move them that first time, then they're fine. But one of them totally, his little knuckle broke.
That's what I hate about articulated hands like that. I just, even like Apollyon, I hated because I'm like, I felt like a lot of those knuckle pieces were just gonna, pretty much like yours.
I mean, here it's just because they were just so damn tight. I don't once you broke the seal, as it were, now they're fine. The knuckles articulate fine. And you need to clench the fist to get it to fold in.
Yeah.
So, but one of them broke on me, and then he came with
Paul's on a mission.
Yeah, he came with like this gross scuff mark on the inside of his leg, which, for most stuff, I'm usually not that picky, but for something like this, that's a pretty big paint scratch. And it's visible in robot mode or whatever. For a piece like this, I felt it was notable, so I did email them, and they responded quickly, and they asked some follow-up questions, so it's not like they left me hanging, but then they're like, okay, cool, we've forwarded what you need and your address to the factory. Maybe something will show up in 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, at least it was something. It's more than you're going to get from Hasbro or Takara. Takara is non-existent, and Hasbro is just like, we'll refund you something of equal or lesser value. Like they're not.
Or if you're like me and my Triptychon, I had to send for my Titans Return Triptychon. I had to send in both of my legs in order to prove purchase.
Oh man!
Because the one chest piece that like holds, I forgot his name, but it's that one clear plastic chest piece that Triptychon has, and it wouldn't really stay in. So I was trying to like gently flex the tabs back straight, and the one snapped. So I asked him, I'm like, can I get this piece I'm on? It's like, no, we can't, so you're gonna have to get a full replacement, but we're gonna need a proof of purchase. I'm like, okay. So I was trying to find my receipt, and they're like, no, we're gonna need the legs of Triptychon. I'm like, huh? Wow. I'm like, this is why I don't do Hasbro anymore. I just said screw it. Wow. So luckily I now have a Triptychon in my closet floating around without legs.
That's so I'm hoping I get my parts. Fans Toys is apparently kind of hit or miss on their customer support. Usually I think they're decent. Like Keith from KFC and X-Transbots is awesome. You email that guy and like you pay $5 for shipping. At least whenever I've emailed him, it's because I broke it myself. It was my own dumb fault, and I knew I broke it. It wasn't like out of the box something was wrong. But it's like you pay $5 for postage, and he gets you a tracking number. It's like usually within a day or two. Like it's awesome. So they responded quick. So I'll give them a chance for it to come in because stuff happens. Yeah. It's funny because I had that quality control sticker on it that all the Fansoys toys have. I always take mine off, but it's like, man, you didn't even look at that. But so that's really not why they're slipping. So since starting with Maverick, the first one on this, they're mistransformed in the box, and it's not like it's saving. It's not like a case of like Metroplex from Hasbro, like one of the arms or legs is detached. And that's just so they can fit it in the damn box, right? You don't need to pop it in. It's okay. Like they come where like they look almost right, but like a few things are shifted around, and it's really annoying. You know, so that's kind of like gross. But that's since Maverick. So the other two aerial bots and Warpath both were, you know, minorly mistransformed out of the box, but it's just dumb. Why do that? The other member, the black one with the red chest, is that Skydive? I always get my airboat mixed up.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they're not Skydive. He can't look to the left. He can't Zoolander. And I talked about it on the show. Like the waist articulating is there, but like if you want it on the other side, you have to rotate the long way around. This guy,
that's weird.
The backpack blocks the waist rotation. He effectively doesn't have it. If once you get it all tabbed in and clucked together, and I don't have it right now, you can't rotate the waist. It's there, but you got to unhook this, and a lot of people have been bitching about it, so this isn't new, but like the arms that articulate it, you got to get it up and really out of the way, and now it's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, that's what I want, you know, to get my waist articulation. And I don't know if they had a new designer come up with this, but even when third-party companies, you know, they contract the engineering out to somebody that does their engineering for them, right? And they give them standards to go by. I just feel like that drops the ball. And we haven't seen the last two members, really. And I don't know if these are some of the stuff that was needed to really make it. It's just unacceptable for a toy that went up like $20-$30 in price before it came out. All of Fansoy stuff has gotten more expensive, and probably a lot of third-party stuff has. Like, I know that studio sale was $250 when it was announced, and now it's $400 from the same retailer. Like,
it's gone up. It's insane.
Yeah, I think the production run went down.
That's
on that guy.
You were probably correct. But it's
Rob, I gotta bust your balls a little bit. I can't believe you're complaining about the way it was transformed in the box. Like, how dare that first time I opened the box, it is not how I want it.
It's sloppy.
Ooh, this man.
It's sloppy. It's lack of attention of detail. It's a product experience of when you open it up, and it's like, you know, take it and then you transform it. And I haven't transformed it yet. Usually I transform stuff before the show, but I haven't taken it.
I mean, when I open this baby up,
that's a fucking build kit. Building it is the whole experience.
This is amazing. This is just amazing.
Nobody wants to buy a Transformer that's minorly and again, that's minor. The big thing is the fucking lack of a waist swivel when the backpack is done correctly. That's like the big. And this is the second one that doesn't have a proper waist swivel. It's just, what are they? I feel like they're leaning on their name and their build materials a little too much. You know, and Lucas says that he thinks they're always overrated. But
whoa.
I would agree with that to some point. I think fans. He says they were never that great. I don't know exactly when the message came in.
I'm not. I watched it on YouTube. I mean, that's a
YouTube chat.
That's a fire comment. I don't see it. I have to reload.
I mean, I have a lot of Fans toys, and I think they're a bit overrated. I think their engineering has never been.
There was a few figures of them I liked, but I never really cared.
Their Dinobot engineering is great, is excellent, and if you got Stomp, he's like $500-$600 now on eBay.
I can believe it. They've gotten popular.
Yep. So yeah, it's, you know, it looks all right like this. The backpack isn't together. I don't know how the engineering is because I haven't messed with it yet. The other two transforming them, I actually did like the transformations for the most part, like 90% of it. It wasn't too bad. You know, for if you're into masterpiece style transformations, which I obviously am. You know, we'll see. I don't know. I think they're slipping. They're slipping a little bit. I think they're leaning on their name too much.
I don't know how else you would do it, especially for an aerial bot, but I always something about third-party toys that I don't like is they put big chunks of mass connected by very thin, like bars or like if you I saw you pulling apart the backpack.
Yeah, he has a big articulating arm for the back half of the jet and the front half.
I don't know how else you're supposed to do that design, but that stuff always worries me because that's clearly a place it's gonna break. It's a weak point.
No, this is all die cast. Like this.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
Like for two Fans Toys' credit, when they have bars like this, which I know the other one does too. They got some big pieces. Like they're well made in that area. Like if I thought it was brittle, I'd tell you. But because I am not like a Fans Toys fanboy, bring up Jabber. But
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how the last two come out. That's another thing where I think they're kind of slipping in that they've started combiners, but they haven't shown us the finish on them, like the finished set. We haven't heard anything about the next two. It's like, okay, we got it started, we got the market cornered, now we can do other things to crush our competition, and then we'll get it back around to finishing the set. And Fans Toys never released a full combiner, so we have no idea how it's going to hold up. And combiner engineering for heavy toys is really difficult.
So are those set to be like one is a specific arm or one's a leg, or can you interchange those?
I do not know.
You don't know. Okay. So like none of the combined parts are there yet. They're probably coming at the end.
Well, we don't know. We don't know if are they going to come with the last bot, or are they going to come in a separate pack that you buy by itself? These are questions to be answered. Like X-Transbots has their Stunnicon set, and all for the regular color, all the bots are out, but we still can't make Minosaur.
Yep.
Because the combiner parts are in the trailer.
And they were doing the trailer.
The trailer's separate, and it's not out yet. And like he took it back to redesign it, because originally at one point it was going to be 2 trailers, and then they keep improving the engineering. So I'm a patient man. I'd rather them get it right, but I wish they would give us some feedback on, they did for a little bit. Let us know what the status is. When you have a final design for us. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm curious how it'll combine. That's really going to be the interesting bit because they haven't done a combiner. So,
can you weigh in on this, Anna?
On Fans Toys?
Miss Third Party? No, those combiners. I don't know. You always have an opinion.
I've owned a few of the third-party combiners. I have very little experience with Fans Toys. I just bought Rouge, and I don't like playing with her at all. So that kind of
a good first purchase for the entry level.
I love
one of the worst figures ever.
It's my favorite RC figure to have on the shelf as a robot, but it's one of the least favorite things I've ever transformed in my life. So
you just couldn't wait for a nicey, could you?
Well, I'll get that too, but it'll probably transform better because it's not a high bar to get past. Not a high bar. But as far as third-party combiners, I think I'm out. I think that I don't think I need figures that complex and fancy for combiners. My favorite combiner I own is actually I think it's Zhuzhane upgraded Superion, because they basically took the Combiner Wars stuff, they added some bigger stuff to it, and they blew it up to MP size. Yep, and that thing is really nice to own. It's solid, every figure looks good on its own. It already had a good Combiner Wars look to it, but it's basically, it's Combiner Wars Superion with the upgrades on it. That's perfect. I feel like that's as far as I want to go with combiners. I feel like any more complex than that, and they're just too much trouble. They're not fun to put together anymore.
That's why I never got any of them.
So, when you say third-party combiners, so just note that, that's like treating Transformers as a single subject. Because there's the original wave of combiners, which was what we would call chug style these days, right?
Pretty much.
I call it crap.
Your face is crap.
Zing!
So, those came out, but then we started getting into Masterpiece style, kind of with Toy World's Devastator. That kind of switched gears, and Toy World and Zeta put out some stuff that are Masterpiece scale, but they're not really Masterpiece build.
Yep.
And so, DX9 has done, I think their Stunnicons are done, or Oh, that's right. They got the main guy, Motormaster, with his trailer, so you can do the skeleton, and then you just plug the cards on. Yep. But, like X-Trans bots and Fans Toys haven't completed a combiner yet for their Masterpiece style. And so, it's kind of new ground for, because those toys have, some die-cast in them and things. So that's going to be kind of new to see how that plays out.
You're right. And I've done TFC, and I've done Make Toys, and I've done the Transformation Minosaur. So, I've tried a few of them, and I've hated all of them. So I'm biased. Yeah. Oh, even at Feral Rex. I had Feral Rex, and I just didn't like him either. So
he was much better, and I think he looks cool on the shelf, but I felt his bot modes were better than the combined mode.
They were.
One thing, though, before you ever threw in the towel completely, is MMC's Bruticus toys. I have... was it 3 of those are out right now. Brawl, I think, is the next one, and then after that, I think it's Vortex is coming out. Those toys are excellent engineering. They're Masterpiece in look, but they're not Masterpiece with diecast in them. So they're kind of straddling that line, but it'll be interesting how those turn out. I think that's kind of a unique set. But
yeah, I don't dislike anything I've owned from MMC. I have different likes of them, but I don't dislike any of it. So it's probably a safe bet for me. It's just, the other side of me not wanting to get into the MP style combiners is $100 per figure. That is the other sides of it.
It's not $100 per figure. It's like $135.
Oh, sorry. I was too low. See, I thought you were going to pull something like, well, some of them are 90, Anna, but it's stating we're honest.
Gotcha.
I feel like Lucas really wants us to mention his comments. He says Zeta is the combiner king.
A lot of people like Zeta, they are cheaper, but they reflect that in, not that they're poorly made, but it's plastic and they're not painted. There are not a lot of paint, but they hold together well. They use extra parts that you either love or hate. But they make real sturdy combiners because of that. So it's
good.
He also said like Toy World Devastator is his favorite or something.
Yeah, I've never messed with it. It didn't meet the aesthetics for me, but I know a lot of people like it.
It's an impressive looking thing. I didn't like the face sculpt at all when he showed it to me, but it is an impressive looking toy.
Yeah. But no, the Fans Toys ones are huge. This is a big toy.
It's massive.
And again, the prices did just go up because I think, honestly, everything's going to go up. You have to pay for shipping on stuff from China now. We haven't done that in 5 years or more.
Pretty much.
X-Transbots stuff is a lot cheaper. The first cardboard that came out was $60. And, I think they went up to 70 or 80 a limb, after that. And then Motormaster was around 130, I think, 135. Yep. So, the prices are all over the place. And they're such in flux right now. But they're definitely not cheap. That's for damn sure.
Nope.
So we've done one round and we're an hour into it.
Can you believe it?
Told my wife, I'm like, oh, this is not a 2-hour podcast. This is the quick one.
I won't let it be. If I don't have anything else. If Anna or Jack want to do something quick, we can do those. Because Paul, I think you said you didn't really have anything else interesting.
Well, I thought about. I got some interesting stuff. But...
If we want to do a quicker round, we can. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay. Yeah.
Quick round. What's her time limit? 30 seconds each? 2 seconds?
Couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a honeymoon.
I mean, we have gone off the rails already. Every person's discussion, we've started talking about something crazy.
It's part of the show.
Yeah,
I know.
It's what makes
I was told it was part of the show.
It is part of the show. The main podcast and microcasters are different, but here I think it's more interesting when we just kind of let it go. Anyways, Jack.
Let it go.
Let it go, Jack.
Anyways, I've always wanted a Masterpiece scale Galvatron, but I never really cared for every third party that came out until one, and luckily I found them on BBTS, just hidden away, and they're so many tabs and pages, and he was on clearance. I think he was 50% off, so it was only $35. So I said yes. So this is technically cheating because it's kind of a KO, kind of third party, but it's Big Cannon from Open and Play.
Yay, Big Cannon!
And wow, this is insanely good for being a blown up Titans Return Galvatron.
With some remolding to fix the terrible head of that toy.
Yes.
That head was so bad.
He's just solid. I'm surprised.
The Titan Return toy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like blown up and then like half, like a lot of it, like half of it's changed or something. And it's
they got rid of the jet
play.
mode.
Yeah, they got rid of the jet. They got rid of the headmaster. So like look at the legs. If you can, kind of. So yeah, the lower, like pretty much everything from below the knee is the same. They redid like the thighs.
It almost looks like they use it as more of a guide than like
pretty much the torso. The way the torso transforms is pretty much the same. Obviously, barring it doesn't have the jet crap. So yeah,
good riddance.
The arms pretty much transform the same. Yeah, it's pretty much a much better Titan Return Galvatron, and I absolutely love him. So he's my masterpiece Galvatron.
Cool.
Zing.
Now, do you have other masterpiece figures that he's hanging out with?
Yes.
Okay.
I have X Transbots Apollyon. He is my masterpiece Megatron for now until I get the official. Because as soon as I actually get the official Megatron, Apollyon is going to go in a shadow box as the gun mode. So.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, this is.
So how do you think he looks next to his MP stuff? Because I have him. I got him to be my MP Galvatron, and I put him on the shelf with my other MP figures, and I couldn't stand it. Like, he just stood out too much for me.
Yeah, it actually fits very well. Because the way my MP shelf is like the bigger figures are in like the top of the shelf, and then the smaller figures are like in little cubes. But yeah, I mean, yours with the Apollyon, and I think
the scale is good.
Yeah,
the scale is right.
Stylistically, they kind of fit.
Yeah, he's about half a head taller than Apollyon. So, but yeah, they are really cracking. So the only thing I got to do with them is just get some stickers but yeah. So
I think my problem is just the plastic style. The way the plastic is just feels different than MP figures. So I think that just like, I don't know why that bothered me so much. Like, I usually don't get hung up on this stuff, right? Like, because I have the open and play sprainer as well. And I love that thing. That thing is fantastic. Like, it looks perfect with my MP figures. I don't even care about the ugly face. He's perfect for me. But then I got I got Big Cannon first, and it just never worked for me. Maybe it's because it came in a plastic baggie instead of a box.
Open and Play went cheap. That was like, I couldn't believe that was the actual packaging. I mean, on one hand, it's like, I get what they were trying to do, and their big spring or whatever they called it, like, I think a lot of people actually kind of liked the transformation, and they liked the idea that, you know, the whole idea of the name was you just open and play with it. You don't need instructions, and it saves us time and money as well.
Pretty much.
It should be fun or whatever, but a lot of people like you and didn't really like the plastic quality of it. It wasn't what they wanted for an MP shelf.
Yeah, Big Spring is fine, though. He's different. Like, the plastic's different, the quality's different, and the look is different. It's just Big Cannon. Like, Big Cannon, I still felt like a bit of a KO for me. Now, Jack, if you love it, I don't mean to down talk it.
No,
I wanted to love it because I didn't want to spend more money on a Galvatron.
Yeah, because, I mean, the joints are solid.
And they only did the two.
Yeah.
And they faded.
The joints are really solid. The paint's pretty damn good. I mean,
I
just
really
noticed that it's like his little abs. Just noticed that there's a little red missing, but it's not too bad. But I mean, yeah, the joints are solid. Plastic feels fine. He feels weighty for what he is, and yeah, I like him.
I mean, $32 compared to like Fans Toys, which is like Sovereign, which is like, if you got it, I think they've done a couple of reissues of it, and I think even then it's like 240 new, and the secondary market's even more.
Yeah. So yeah, I recommend this as. If you want an good MP Galvatron. So
I'm hoping, honestly, Takara starts getting into more of the movie stuff. We got Ultra Magnus. They're doing RC. It's like, come on, guys. full hog the movie.
I think they're whole hogging it.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, because
I agree, Paul.
We got Coronation Starscream. We got a new Hot Rod. We're getting RC. Let's see.
I mean, Cup and Blur are the big ones, man. And Galvatron, Cyclonus.
Oh, you guys are living in a masterpiece only club right now. I get it.
Not a club. No, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I want them to get into.
Yeah, I could see more
Takara to go for with it.
I mean, that's still going to take a while, but we don't know what they're doing next year at all. Yeah. So I have a feeling 2021 is going to be a movie party, 100%. So.
All right, so Anna?
Anniversary of the
movie? Sure, yeah. And I guess
Anna.
Oh, wait. Was that a name joke, or did you want me to go next?
Both.
Both. I don't approve of name jokes unless I make them.
Whoa!
Great.
You got some sausage boy for us?
Joke fight.
I don't actually, because I talked about it incessantly yesterday and used the proper names of his target masters, ketchup and mustard.
I was in chat. Lucas didn't bring it up, but like to me, if anything, it's a double order of relish because they're green. But Lucas just pretended he didn't see
they're
it.
Blue.
Are they blue?
Totes blue.
Yeah, they're blue.
They're blue.
Oh,
they're like baby blue, pretty much.
Teal,
maybe. Well, I like my relish molded and blue, so that's what gives it a real hot link.
Oh my goodness! So I have a lot of things piled up beside me. Most of them are like straight up weird garbage. So I'm just going to talk about the legitimate kind of good thing I have, because I have that box of weird stuff that I'm going to keep pulling things out of for a while now. And I have literally one of the things I was going to show is 3 of the same figure in various parts of Diswear, which that will just be next time. So look forward to that. But I'm going to talk about one of my favorite names for a third-party figure, and that is Mice Warriors. This is Transform Elements Mice Warriors. Which is a fun use of various plurals. It is original Rat Trap, not any sort of transmetal, not horrific beast machines, anything like that. It is Rat Trap's, original form, his true form. And
he looks the same height as the original.
So he's smaller, actually.
Is he?
So they're kind of, sort of legend scale-ish. They're not really. It's weird. They don't scale with other Legends figures. They don't scale with much of anything. I've heard people say that they're supposed to scale with MP, so that they are the size the Beast Wars characters would have been to the MP characters of G1 and Beast Wars are scale.
I was going to say, because they did a Black Arachne who's obviously way smaller than the official Black Arachne.
Right, but the idea is that they're supposed to be 2 scale with MP Optimus Prime instead, which is an interesting idea. I like it. The Scorponok that's coming is just so great.
It looks so good.
I'm trying to get excited for it. So I got this guy because I'm a big fan of Rat Trap, right? I love Rat Trap. Rat Trap is a great character. So cool. I really like him. And I thought, I have every other version of original Rat Trap, which is there's 2 between the generations of the original. And I just had this thing in the back of my head, I don't really need an upgrade because the original is really good, and the Generations figure is a little bit better in bot mode. I got this guy, and I kept feeling the same. I was like, why did I get this? He's cool. He's cool. My lighting is all messed up right now, so, look him up. If you want to see him for real. I literally have all the lights in my room completely off. It is pitch black dark in here to try to get the lighting to be normal on my camera.
You've even moved rooms.
I'm in the same room, just in the other side of the room. I just spun my desk around and made a huge mess. But as far as the quality of the figure, he's well made, right? He is relatively simple. He borrows a lot from the Generations figure. He's not super hard to transform. He's a little more complicated. His lower legs are die cast so that he has weight to him, which I think was a mistake for a Legends figure because you really don't need it. And it just makes him feel awkwardly heavy. He is, he has mostly modern articulation. He has, No wrist swivel, but he does have good ankles. You know, they go side to side and they go back and forth. So you can pose him pretty well. He doesn't have any sort of waist swivel. His head moves just fine. So it's not like he's like, I guess I just wanted like some sort of self-actualized rat trap figure. You know, I wanted like an MP style rat trap out of this. And it's not what I got. I got a figure that's about as good as the Generations figure. Probably a little bit better as far as articulation. But honestly, like when I look at that Generations figure now, I'm like, oh, wait, all the updates they made to his design were actually good. So he actually looks better than the original design.
Yeah, like I can see there, you know, it has a lot of his, you know, rat parts hanging off his backpack, but the Generations one, that backpack's a bit more. You know, I still think it's the important thing is, and one thing I love about the Generations toy, is that it can sit up in rat mode.
Yep.
Which he did in the show all the time. Can the Generations figure do it? Or the Legends figure you got there?
There's no articulation in rat mode. His footsies just rotate up and down, and that's it, which really bummed me out. Because the rat
Can I get an F in chat?
is adorable, right? Like,
Rob, I'll do it for you.
Cute. I think rats are cute because I've had pet rats many times, but it's like, it's great because I look at it and I'm like, this is a cute rat, and then it doesn't move. And it's such a bummer. And his mouth doesn't open. And the Generations one, his mouth opens. So it's just...
I go rip.
So you feel like the Generations figure, like it improves some stuff, but as far as posability and playing with it, you might pick the Generations one, well, especially in rat mode at least.
I think, but especially in rat mode, I think that the Generations figure was a good update. I think that what would have been better is to start with the Generations figure's design and maybe even its size and then make it better instead of making it so much smaller. And I know they had a goal with their scale and they wanted it to be legend size and all that sort of stuff. It's not cheap, by the way, just so you know. In case you forgot, Legends figures are very expensive.
It was like $50?
It's about 40. It's about 40 to get this thing to your house. So, and you know, it is this big. Okay, it is a very tiny figure. It is smaller than the original basic rat trap. Much more complicated than him. He comes with his gun and, you know, he's fine. No alternate faces or anything. It's just, I think that, I think owning so many Legends figures, I just kind of expected that, like, level of, oh my goodness, this is so surprising how much they packed into this figure. And when I got this one, it was like, this is exactly how much I would have expected them to pack into this figure.
Mm. You know, that's kind of, you know, what I was talking about, I felt like Fans Toys was dropping the ball. If you look at modern day Masterpiece, how, like, especially like from Takara, like all the accessories they give you, which, you know, Hot Topic, you know, so like, oh, I wish it was cheaper. It's like, hate to tell you, cutting those accessories wouldn't have saved you as much as you think.
Pretty much.
But like, Warpath only came with a mask from Fans Toys, and, you know, Skydive just comes with 2 guns. You know, which it's like the bare minimum. Like, I don't know, maybe he has an extra face in the box. I can't.
And he doesn't come transformed right.
He doesn't. It's like, plug in a couple things. Come on.
Rat comes transformed right. I mean, Mice Warriors.
Maybe it was a COVID.
Right. Mice Warriors.
Some COVID concern, Rob. Jeez.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't. The previous figures were out before COVID hit.
Oh.
Well, it's a shame it's a little on the disappointing side. I still like the Generations one for my Masterpiece shelf as a stand-in.
That's what I'm pretty much doing too.
I can't, but I'm real curious to see when we get the Masterpiece Rat Trap himself.
See, I was hoping,
which I think will happen.
I was hopeful that I would be like, this is going to be my new stand-in. Because I don't care if the size is off. You know me and Skell. I really don't give a damn most of the time. And I was like, nope, I want the Generations one still on my Masterpiece shelf. This guy's just going to go hate out in some weird Legends corner.
What does the Masterpiece one have to do that the other toys that you've kind of discussed, like the shortcomings? Like the rat has to sit up, obviously.
The rat needs to move.
And it has to, like, probably be, it can be panely, but it should be like a solid, like, pill of a rat as a robot.
It needs to be
rat.
I think more accurate in robot mode is the big thing that Generations misses. Mm-hmm. You know, besides, you know, more accessories, some alternate faces, you know, because Beast Wars was very animated with the faces.
Yep.
and I think they've gotten that right with their other releases.
So it needs to look like this in robot mode, but move better. So, like, this is the exact look of Rat Trap.
I want less of a backpack.
Better. So less backpack, yes. Less backpack, more of a flat dead rat than a, like, straight up just rat everywhere.
Which means it's just going to be panels that fold in and collapse more.
Be
like,
panel
I get
world.
what it's going to be. Yeah.
He needs to have wrist rotation, for sure. And then the rat face in rat mode needs to be expressionate. Because that's something that these Beast Wars MPs have had that has been so cool, is that their animal modes are expressionate just like they were in the cartoon, which was the fun part of Beast Wars. Like that Cheetor toy, those are some really goofy cat faces he came with, and they are fantastic.
You can move the eyes around.
Right. They want me to leave him in cat mode.
That is our $1,000 word for the night, expressionate. That is a new one.
I tried.
Very, very good. Very good.
All right, well, it's a shame he doesn't, fit that role. Like, at his size, I knew he wasn't going to be an MP stand-in for me. But, I don't think you can make a Beast Wars toys today and not... It's not like when you make a Prime, and it's like, well, it's got to make a truck. And it's like, whatever, it's a truck. You hardly ever leave it in a truck. Beast Wars, the show, they spent so much time in animal form that it's much more important to their character than alt modes are for other shows, I feel.
I agree.
Like, right now, mine are still all in their Beast mode. Except for Transmetal 2 Megatron from Wei-Chang. Or whoever did it, Xinjiang.
Xinjiang?
Yeah, the rest of them are all in their Beast mode right now just because I put them in there and I liked them. And they're in the show like that half the time anyways. It's all good. I'll switch it up later. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up.
Whoa!
Things are...
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa,
oh, wait, do you got one?
Yeah,
well,
yeah, I brought a few things just in case, but we went so fast, or so slow. I got this today.
Joe!
Mr. Off Topic.
Yeah, this you hardly ever see me have crap
like this. What is this about?
This is GI Blood.
They're not even out yet, are they?
What are you... It's right here!
You monster!
It's right
here! How
you can clearly
is that
tell.
The Marvel Legends? Tell our listeners what it is.
Yes, this is G.I. Joe Classified Destro.
It's Destro.
Destro.
Face.
I'm just looking at the back of the box. You can totally tell all the figures that are coming out in the line now. They got the red ninja. I don't know who that guy is, but he's like, it looks like one of the regular old.
That's his name.
Yeah, plot device guy. And then I don't know who these like one-eyed bad trooper guys are. They're
That's
like
just their name. Bad trooper. One-eyed guy.
The stormtroopers. There's all these vehicles on the back. There's no way they're making all those.
They're not happening.
Or any of them.
Well, I'm not opening that, but I thought it would be cool to see. But I decided, I realized I did have something else that was kind of cool. Then we can just quickly.
You just send Destro to me, Paul. It's fine.
I got a space.
I
got a space turkey.
You don't need to send that to me. It's just Destro.
My buddy Skylinks. Bowing.
Skylinks.
Yeah, this toy is pretty cool, and it's out in Australia now. So
yeah, for like what, $50 Canadian or Australian? Not Canadian. What the hell am I talking about?
I'm pretty sure it's like 135 Australian. It's like more expensive.
I saw some about
Monopoly money.
I saw some about they had like one store was having a sale on Skylinks already. They were going cheap as like 50 out there. I'm like, what the fuck just came out?
I think they're having a sale for whatever reason, but the sale has not started yet. So like they're finding it in stores, and to buy it you have to pay full price. Anyways,
so maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I had the original Skylinks, and this is like so much cooler. Like as far as articulation thing, I don't have the third party one, but I can imagine I would like this more than the third party one.
Yeah, the feeling is a lot better than Combiner Wars.
The neck has. Oh. Yeah, that one doesn't count. I mean, that one was a Combiner torso. I don't know why everyone keeps harping on that toy. It was this is the one you wanted. It's got lots of good joints, I'll tell you that. I mean, there's reviews out there. We don't need to go over every little thing, but
we will in the future on Microcasters.
Yeah. I just wanted to show you I got it.
Also, like the big thing with the third party one is that like even with just each half of that, you could, brick somebody in the head with it. It is a chunk. Yeah. Each half is a huge chunk and heavy, and combined,
he a chunky boy,
even heavier. Well, that's awesome. That's pretty early then for most of us in the U.S.
It's size wise, like chunk wise, it really fits that commander class. If you consider the Jetfire success, it's very similar in feel and style and weight and heft and size.
Jetfire is a success. A big success.
I
love both those toys. I think they're like some of the coolest Transformers that have come out. I do not understand why Walmart keeps dropping them to clearance price immediately, but hey, keep doing it.
I wouldn't mind.
As long as it doesn't lead into a situation where they stop making them.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think that's happening, though. They have plans.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have run pretty late today. So with that, with Paul dropping 2 bombs there right at the end.
You dropped a bomb on me.
Very cool early looks at things. Make sure to hound him on Discord about his thoughts on it for more detailed information.
Oh,
I have to get on that.
Yeah. So, anyways, thanks for joining us tonight. This was After My Wallet, part of the TF Talk Network. If you like us and what we do, you can hit us up on Patreon at patreon.com/TFYLP, TFYLP being our main show, which you can catch here on the YouTubes Monday nights at 8:30 Central, as well as on Microcasters on Facebook on Tuesday nights live, and then that'll go up on YouTube, some days later.
Usually Saturday.
Yeah. Of course, After My Wallet here. Cut the Tape usually goes up on Friday. It's a pre-recorded segment from Rick. And usually we have our TF Talk News as well, done by the mysterious Mr. Starscream on Sunday nights. Or Sunday evening, something like that. Usually goes up most weeks. Hit that up for the news. It's a pre-recorded audio-only podcast we put on YouTube just for accessibility reasons. But
make sure to get your hypno chips.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Sorry.
Throwback to one of the worst movies ever that's now a cult hit. Thanks everybody for joining us live. We had Zaldron and Rodimus, and Billy was with a little while too, and Danny joined us, a couple other people. So thanks for joining us, and hit us up on Discord. We have a Facebook group as well. Links are in the description as always, and we will see you next time. So bye everybody.
Come see us Tuesday.